So we're going to be jumping into the world. Well, we're going to be jumping into the MonsterVerse. So Godzilla x Kong, New Empire, anticipated for impressive global box office debut this Easter. So the movie literally comes out in less than 2 days here in the UK. Could not be more excited. I've booked my IMAX ticket right in the center aisle in the perfect spot. Can't wait to see this movie. I'm just going to be awe-inspired by titans fighting each other in the city. But let's go down and let's see what the predictions are for the opening weekend of the financials at the box office for Godzilla x Kong. So, as the release of Godzilla x Kong, The New Empire looms, just a couple of days away, early forecasts for the sequel's worldwide opening weekend are starting to emerge, and the outlook is shaping up to be positively rawsome. I really like that, positively rawsome. I really want this movie to do great financially. If we have a Godzilla -1 that did great financially, and then we have this movie coming out and doing great financially as well, the Godzilla franchise is going to be in the best spot it's ever been in. And I want more sequels within the MonsterVerse going forward, because I love this franchise. It's ridiculous. There's nothing normal about this. It's just ridiculous, over the top, crazy. Turn your brain off, eat some popcorn, watch some big monsters fighting. There's plot holes and the narrative is all over the place, but I don't really care. As long as there's huge titans fighting each other, that's all we need. So, as Godzilla x Kong, The New Empire prepares to storm theaters during the extended Easter weekend, early projections suggest it's poised to dominate the competition with a global box office debut estimated at around 135 million. That would be a fantastic opening for this movie, 135 million, that'd be great. So despite the pandemic's lingering effects on the theatre's attendance, Godzilla vs. Kong proved its resilience with a commendable 48 million haul over the 5-day launch, even while simultaneously streaming for free on HBO Max for subscribers. That was ridiculous. The fact that they had this movie day and date release, where it was streaming on HBO Max and in theaters at the same time, they cost themselves so much box office revenue. It's ridiculous. Whoever made that decision, you know, just they should have been fired. You remember that year when all of Warner Brothers movies went to streaming and release in theaters at the same time, sort of during that later phases of the pandemic. It was just ridiculous. So, however, according to Deadline, its successor is expected to face a softer international launch, targeting 80 million to 85 million abroad and domestic debut of 50 million. This marks a departure from Godzilla vs. Kong's robust 105 million international opening in 2021. So one significant factor contributing to this shift is China's changing market dynamics. Hollywood films no longer enjoy the same level of success in the region, impacting Godzilla x Kong's potential in the market where its predecessor thrived. Yeah, I mean, the Chinese market is absolutely huge when it comes to box office and it comes to movies. So, you know, if the Chinese market isn't as good as what it used to be, this could have a massive financial impact at the end of the day on the box office for Godzilla x Kong. Let's hope it doesn't come to that, and let's hope that it's kind of minimized. But, you know, like I say, because we want the financials to be good so we get more of these movies. But we'll have to wait and see how much, you know, China does affect the box office for this movie. So, adding to the challenge, Godzilla x Kong, The New Empire, must contend with formidable competition from Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Despite mixed critical reception, positive word of mouth is expected to propel Ghostbusters to an estimated 15 million in the US box office earnings over the Easter weekend. I've just been to see that movie yesterday myself. I thought it was okay. It was a little bit lackluster for me, but I can see why people enjoy it. Like, younger kids might enjoy it, but for older adults, I think it's a little bit lackluster. It's a little bit, you know, kind of lacking, if you like. But I'm not going to go off on a whole tangent about that. Go and see it, guys, if you haven't. It's worth seeing. So, director Adam Wingard, in the video below, reflects on the possibility of his return for another movie in the franchise, stating, "Only time will tell." He acknowledges the allure of the rounding out the series as a trilogy, a notion that resonates with audiences' expectations after 2 successful films.
Could a trilogy be in store? Have the ideas, you know, started to begin as far as what could come next?
Yeah, well, only time will tell. I think the seductive thing as a filmmaker when you've done 2 movies is to complete it as this rounded trilogy. That's always, you know, what everybody expects. We'll see. I mean, it really depends on how the movie does, and I think that there's a lot of really cool ideas we have where we would go with it, and yeah, I'm open to it, and I'm just excited what the future brings.
So it looks like they've already had discussions to some degree behind the scenes about where they're going to take the franchise in the future, which is exciting to know that they're still thinking about going forward. and they're not thinking about ending the MonsterVerse anytime soon. I don't think they ever would, because, you know, these movies generate money. They don't generate massive amounts of money like Marvel or Star Wars amounts of money, but they generate enough money to warrant them continuing the MonsterVerse into the future. And I put this picture, obviously we've got the trailer here for Godzilla x Kong, but I'm assuming most of you guys have already seen that by now. And I found this really cool picture here on Twitter earlier, which I just put into this article for you guys. So we have Kong kind of coming up from the ground. You see his massive gauntlet, his hand on his gauntlet, and it looks like he's grabbing a phone booth, and tourists are kind of taking pictures of it. And I thought this image was really, really fun. I would love for them to do something like this in my local town. They never will, but I thought it was cool. You just see Kong's head in his giant hand, grabbing a phone booth, kind of coming up from the ground. I thought it was just a really fun image to include here, guys. So, Godzilla x Kong, the new Empire, rampages into theaters on March 29th. Less than 2 days away. Could not be more excited for this. Yeah, I'm trying to avoid all spoilers. Guys, by the way, if you go onto Twitter, there is spoilers and footage all over the place. So be careful when you're looking up on Twitter anything to do with this movie, because there's spoilers all over the place. I'm going to try and stay off Twitter as much as I can in the next 48 hours. And I'm going to try and stay away from reviews and, you know, first reactions, because I don't want my own opinion to be kind of tainted by what other people think before I watch it myself. But guys, jump into the comment section. Let me know what you think about this. What do you think about it potentially garnering a 135 million opening Easter weekend? Do you think it's possible? Do you think it's going to make less? Do you think it's going to make more? What do you think about this, guys? You know, jump into the comment section. Let me know your thoughts on this estimate for the box office projections of Godzilla x Kong. I can't wait to see what you have to say about that, guys.